Bonjour, good morning. Coming to you from London's Islington. This is British Lebanese. Just going to hang around until the flow goes through, and we can see if we can get some traction there with the shadow banned account of an Arab. صباح الخير يا جماعة، صباح الخير يا طرابلس يا بيروت، صباح الخير يا فلسطين، صباح الخير يا سوريا. اليوم عم نحكي من قهوة، عم نستعمل الانترنت لأنه المصاري عم تطير. صار هالبلد غالية بشكل فظيع، يعني excessively expensive. أنا بعثت شوية تويتس على my debunking tips. شوفوا احضروا، فقسوا الفأسة يلي ريبلاي على تويتر، وبس تفسقوها فيكم تشوفوا التايم لاين مزبوط. هذا بكل العالم مش بس أنا، عرفتوا كيف؟ سو بس تروحوا على تويتر وتبلشوا تشوفوا شو عندهم، بدكم تفقسوا على ريبلاي منشان تشوفوا المسجز، لأنه بس بيأرجوا الأول مسجز، ما بيأرجوا الجواب على الريبلاي to the tweets. So you have to click on reply. اليوم بدي احكي عن عدة شغلات. Today, this morning, for those of you who are English, I'm going to speak on several subjects, including this constituency here, which I've been part of since 1973. I'm going to talk about King Robbo, the man who was targeted by Banksy. That is to say, King Robbo is my school classmate. Sabah al-Khair with my right hand to you anti-Zionists, and with my left hand to you presidents and prime ministers, to you Zionist government in Lebanon, who instead of going through an election scheme, they send pagers to bomb a whole political party and then say, yeah, now we're in charge of Lebanon. هيدا اسمه terrorism. So now we have a terrorist government in Lebanon. A terrorist government that's under the orders of Benjamin Netanyahu. This morning I took a picture not far from me here. It was saying words towards the effect that when they kill a baby, its weight is heavier. I'm going to tweet it out shortly after I do this. I should have done it before. يجوا جماعة يقعدوا جنبي أنا عم بحكي ما عجبني هيك. I am talking in English the majority of the time, but I will use Arabic words as well. So this podcast, as well as all my podcasts, are really in English. And on that note, I need a fan. So, why don't you come out with me? Oh, nearly wrecked the place here. Why don't you come out with me and we can have a cigarette talk. How are you? Good. Huh? Come again? Oh, I ain't going West London today, no. I went, is it a couple of days ago? Just thought I'd do a live video. So I'm recording live at the moment, yeah? So Assalamu alaikum. In my Twitter account, I debunk a possible friend of Tommy Robinson. Listen to me very carefully, yeah? Due to lack of lawyers, so right, I've just had a disruption of my YouTube. I was live and it suddenly had a little flick. So I'm now I could be wrong, but a few years ago I went to Islington Council to make a complaint about an individual called Alex Wood, who was working in the welfare benefits maximisation team. What you have to do in this country is when you're earning welfare, government welfare benefits, you've got to keep the government informed of what's going on. You've got to keep them informed of any changes that happen. It's a law. So this is what I wanted to do. Going to Islington Council and doing that resulted in me being confronted by a receptionist. And if you look up my video that says Unit 8200, check my videos out, you'll see it. That's all we need now, isn't it? To do a podcast and to get disrupted by this geezer here. This is the hospital that Bashar al-Assad came to while he was studying in England. Moorfields High Hospital. That building over there, where I've got my finger there, that building there, that's where Saeed Hariri came to London. The very last time he was in London, he was in that building there. I got an invitation only because I sneakily contacted the Lebanese embassy and managed to get an invitation. I wanted to disrupt his speech because he made a promise to me that if he was in London, he would like to meet me. So now you know he turned out to be a lying cunt. Yeah, there's my first swear word. So Mr. Saeed Hariri, I'm in a coffee shop now, using the cheap internet, relaxing my firewalls so that they can invade and occupy my phone. Which is how you got to find out where I was in the coffee shop just over there, Starbucks. So you sent your journalist to the coffee shop that I was in, didn't you? Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Former Prime Minister. And those journalists were focusing their big cameras on me, weren't they? For days, they've been monitoring me. Why is that? Why is that? And then you decided to make a story and front page headlines, quote, I will leave politics if people vote me out. That's what you said. That's the heading. Look it up. It's not bullshit, it's facts. For those who don't know, I'm the person who was ridiculed and cancelled by Jewish power here in Islington. Finish this and I'll go inside, then we can talk. But I want audience on this, yeah? Ya Lebanon, Assalamu alaikum. Well, I need another coffee, I think. I'll just come out to do a record and you got this geezer here. Yeah. Do you want me to talk about what the police done to you, or we'll leave it another time? I think because it's not planned. But I'm really angry about it because.
Now she's gone. I'm getting no answer at all.
You what?
Now she's gone. I'm getting no answer at all. It's just her.
You know why? I noticed you got them big issue magazines. I'm wondering whether that kind of pushes them away.
No, she's still getting me one when I'm doing this.
They still.
Yeah, she's still coming back on me. I was saying these then.
Yeah, this is a colleague in the community who's been let down by the government here in England. This is a very intelligent man here. I know who this guy is. When I got my 29 grand, I'll give him some money straight away to help him out. Police come round. He's asking help from the public. He's homeless. Police come round, arrested him, put him in a cell for how many days? 3 days. Why are we putting people who are homeless in a cell for 3 days? He's asking for money. They come over, and they terrorise him. They terrorise him. They didn't give you food as well at some point, didn't they?
Yeah, but they gave me a seat. But when you get a community protection notice, which means I'm not allowed to sit here.
They give you a community notice, means you're not allowed to sit here.
Yeah, there's no guys that say it, but it don't matter. She persecutes me.
So they're banning him
They can't do that.
in a public street.
I'm begging, but I'm selling big issues at the time.
Yeah, he's selling big issue, which is allowed. Even Prince William is some kind of a patron or supports it, doesn't he? But yeah, the police are terrorising him. All right, I'm going to go back inside. We'll talk about it, yeah? اوكي بدنا نوطي صوتنا هلا لانه قاعدين جوا يعني. The Unit 8200 video that I done outside Islington Council was because Ali Abu Nimba, the son of a member of a government in Jordan, in case you lot didn't know. He's a son of a government or son of official of some sort. They released an article exposing a former Mossad agent, Unit 8200, working in Islington Council. That is to say, Islington Labour took him on. So I went there to do a video there for different reasons. That place there became a historic law where they took us to court, Islington Council. Now, I am a British Lebanese Londoner living in Islington since 1973. Yeah. So I know Islington like the back of my hand. I know street by street. So if there's anyone who comes from this area, yeah, it's me. In that building there, a senior member called Cora Nichols, she's currently working there, took us to court. Now, when you grow up in this country, when you become 16 years old, you have to claim housing benefit so that the government can make the relevant benefits to your housing. And if you don't do that when you're 16, before it's the mother that claims the housing benefit if it's the mother in the house. So we were young and we didn't know any of this. So mum's rent goes up. And what happened was we were on the waiting list to be rehoused, and we had medical reason, category A, to be rehoused. We had a load of dampness, big issues with the house. And that category A medical grade to rehouse us meant that we had a priority, which meant that they had to prioritise on us. Islington Council, my mum is excellent with money full stop. My mum is excellent with money full stop. And she pays her rent 6 months advance. That's how my mum plays, yeah? So every 6 months she gives them the money and she plays it this way. Now, when they took her to court, they illegally moved her down the list to be rehoused. They moved her down the list. Why? Because when a barrister called Miles Crowley asked them questions and they were replying, he eventually debunked that they prejudiced, they criticised, they moved my mum down the list because of rent arrears that was of no fault of hers whatsoever. So as a result of the case, in England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, my mum won the case against Islington Council and a huge compensation package was paid out. Most of that was paid into the rent. So now in England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, you cannot do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. Thanks to my British Lebanese mother. And when the lawyer annotated this in the legal paperwork, he didn't address my mother as a tenant, which was exactly what she was. He called her, quote, Lebanese lady, unquote. Why? Why? Why did he do that? Islington Council is full of bad balance of people that they recruit. A lot of people are Jewish in Islington Council. A lot of senior positions are Jewish. Islington Council, where we live here since 1973, is one of the top 10 highest Jewish populated areas in England. And I'm going to add this so that you can understand where I'm coming from. Welcome if you joined us. The people are going higher. There's several hundred of you now online. Although you can see 36, there's several hundred of you, and it will go up. So جيبوا العالم من لبنان خليهم ينزلوا يحضروا هالفيديو منشان تفهموا انه الterrorism مش بس بلبنان, so that you can understand that the terrorism is not just in Lebanon, it's been transported to every country abroad, including here. And terrorism comes in all different forms. And I'll be bringing up Alex Wood shortly about the benefits that I was getting and the benefits that he was denying me. And Alex Wood, for those of you who don't know, I looked up and was targeted by a Jewish lobby on Twitter with my British Lebanese account, a very prominent British Lebanese account. Politicians from all over the world were following this account. Congress in America were following it. I was listed in the most extraordinary lists. People were listing me. Received a lot of popularity. This is why I swear a lot and use a lot of profanity now, is to push away that popularity. I've had over 500,000 views on my YouTube now. 300 and something thousand, 360 odd thousand views. I believe, I'm trying to recall here if it's in the last year or throughout the time of my YouTube. Not entirely sure. I'll have to look it up. I looked up Alex Wood, this Alex Wood, who I had in Islington Council's 222 Upper Street on social media, only to find that there is an Alex Wood who's followed by Tommy Robinson. So Alex Wood works in what's called worked in what's called the maximisation team, where they try to make sure that you're receiving the right amount of welfare benefits. And I told him that I received information from the hospital where I made a personal voluntary walk into a hospital to confirm or to review the private high category mental health hospital that they threw me in, because I quoted them. I received a phone call off of President Michel Sleiman. Now, Jeremy Corbyn's got a copy of the phone call that I sent to Michel Sleiman. The phone call that I received from Babda Palace in Lebanon, the president of Lebanon, who was a president at the time when I received that phone call. And good morning to you, Mr. President. If you can make sure the admin of Michel Sleiman, make sure he receives this, make sure he watches this. And those of you who are kind enough to been following my podcasts, make sure that we do some retweets and let's show some favourites on this, because I'm an Arab. Yeah, it's not whether you like it, this video, or not. I'm not here to present to you a show. This is not a circus. This is facts that I, as a British Lebanese expat living in London since 1973, am bringing forward as my lawyer told me to, who specializes in mental health. A lawyer who specializes in mental health tells me that I have to tell the public what happened to me. Now, I'm a former Hewlett-Packard employee with over 27 years in the IT sector. And yesterday I sent some tweets, some breaking information on my former boss, who's now a prominent member of the IT world here in England and globally as well. I was his transport manager. I was running his contracts. Now, I add clarity to my career because I feel the need to, after being cancelled by a racist Jewish power here in London, feel the need to reverbalise them on social media. Because you don't do 17 days hunger strike for no reason. You don't do that. You don't do 17 days hunger strike for no fucking reason. Do you understand? Being put incommunicado, whereby you're denied a lawyer, you're denied contact with your family, you're denied contact with your embassy. This is unlawful. You can't do that, but they did that to me. I'm a prominent, outspoken British Lebanese Londoner. Everybody in Lebanon knows who I am by now. All the politicians, certainly the politicians, ministers, even in this country here. People are talking about me on their own podcasts. People who have millions of viewers. Me now, I'm getting... Every day I look at my stats and I'm seeing 2,000 people viewing my podcast, 2,500 within the last 48 hours, 1,500. That's every other day, every second, third day I'm seeing this. So clearly I'm getting traction now, even though I'm shadow banned. And everybody out there is still paying the white boy, aren't you? You're still paying the white boy to air out your information. Ya Lebanon, when are you going to stop paying George Galloway, airing information out through his channel? When are you going to stop doing that? He's inviting the likes of Scott Ritter, yeah? He's equally as guilty as Tony Blair. You and your Chilcot inquiries. Scott Ritter is being an agent of America who was part of the 500,000 people, children that died in Iraq. What he done was outrageous. And he's been elevated on social media and receiving millions of pounds through viewers, off of the blood of our Palestinian brothers and sisters. He's an agent, and once an agent, they're always an agent. And their sons get recruited as an agent, and their families get recruited, and their families get abused. Their siblings get abused and sent through traumatic episodes in their training of these people. So Mr. George Galloway needs to understand that not every Arab supports him or backs him, as well as Jeremy Corbyn, who's now taken on some Algerian hijabi woman. Why? Only because she's a Muslim, because he's sucking the blood off of our Palestinians, our Lebanese, our Syrians, because they want to prey on the empathy. That's what they want to do. يلا خلصونا بقى اعملوا لنا هالفavorites because I want it to go out. I want it to go out on social media. I want it to go out. Us Arabs, yeah, we're hated on YouTube. If there's any racism, it's the policies of these high-flying social media platforms that are getting big and big. You come back. Okay. Let me just flip over to Alex Wood now. Now, if there are two different Alex Woods, one being one of them who is followed by Tommy Robinson, yeah, and the other being someone who used to work or still works in Islington Council. If it's two different ones, then so be it. But that's a lawyer's fault for failing to debunk it yourself. But I went there to complain about him not investigating what benefits I'm entitled to because he refused to use doctors' notes and information that's updated, that outdates the old information. He refused to do that, and I walked into Islington Council to complain. And I was confronted with that lady that you will see on my Unit 8200 YouTube. If you click on live on my YouTubes, yeah, when you click on live, you'll see all the videos. If you click on shorts, you'll see all the shorts videos. If you click on video, you'll only see the videos that I'd done that were offline, which were very few. So all or most of my videos that I do are always live, yeah? Now, that woman, I complained, and as I was complaining, she didn't like it. And when I say she's a woman, she's an old woman. She's in her 70s. And she's also disabled. And Islington Council's Human Resources, who I call, it's supposed to be HR, Human Resources, but I call heartless and ruthless department. Because in their department, instead of having HR qualified people, they've got lawyers working in their HR to stop the staff from complaining. So if you have a lawyer working in HR in a company, you know that your rights are no longer, because they're employed people to stop you from claiming, to stop you from getting your rights. That's exactly what is currently happening in Islington Council. And her name is Sarah Williams, a lawyer. How do I know that? There's a coincidence. How do I know Sarah Williams, the so-called litigation lawyer in Islington Council, is working in there? Now, I don't know, she may have drifted in her jobs, but what I do know is that she was trained and qualified by a Jewish lawyer called Leslie Curtis, and she is one of the partners of Hopkins, Murray and Beskin solicitors in Finsbury Park. Now, Leslie Curtis was supposed to be representing me in my, quote, eviction, housing eviction, but she's done such a bad job. She is such a ruthless, rude, attitude problem woman who takes Fridays off. And even on one of the court cases that I had, or it was on a Friday, she didn't go to it, she made me go to it on my own. Because she takes Fridays off. Why? Because she goes to a fucking synagogue. So here's my advice to you. I don't give a toss if you go to a synagogue. It makes no fucking difference to me. Yeah. What I do think is that the synagogues in England should all be investigated, and we should go down in their tunnels and find out what the fuck is going on down there. Yeah, maybe we could debunk all the Madeleines and all the others. Yeah, it's happening in America. Why isn't it happening here? Yeah, all the rabbis in the synagogue and the mattress with blood all over it. What was all that about? Why is it gone all silent on that in America, in the tunnels of the synagogues? So I don't give a toss whether you go to a synagogue or not. It makes no difference to me. But what I do give a toss about is if the synagogue that you're going to has been occupied and invaded by terrorist cults and of jumping on the wagon of the Judaism religion and twisting it and warping it, yeah, to their liking, yeah. And it's happening in the Islamic religion as well. You've got all your Lebanese, you've got all your Muslim speakers, your sheikhs. They're all doing it, sticking their tables out in Trafalgar Square. Check out my video where I debunk Ali Dahwa in Trafalgar Square. Over 8,500 people live while I'm fucking talking. Live while I'm talking. Even George Galloway doesn't get that amount of people live watching his show. I'm going to make a prediction now. There's over 400 or 500 people watching now, although it says 46 people. Yeah, and I always make these kind of predictions, and they turn out right, and you'll see the flow. Let's hope it goes up even more. Mind you, it does shit me up when it does go up even more, because it just knocks me off track what I want to talk about. Alex Wood refused to give the Department of Social Security updated information about my case. So when I go to confront them in Islington Council, they don't like it. And they say, oh, I'm hurting her feelings. I've hurt the feelings of this old 80-year-old woman in a disabled wheelchair, electric wheelchair, working in Islington Council, where they've stuck her there deliberately. How ruthless can you get? What a bunch of wankers in Islington Council. And yesterday, after sending a tweet to Toby North, who's the constituent in Islington Council, he finally responds and sends me an email. يعني ما بيفهموا إلا بالتهديد. He wants to know what I want. I've been writing down what I want done since 2007-8, when I was in contact with someone who I'm banned to tell you their name now. Because if I do tell you their name, I'll go to prison. I want that restriction removed. I want that cunt exposed. Not allowed to mention their name. انتوا بتعرفوا مين الناس. طلعوا على الفيديو. شوفوا الفيديوز القديمين يلي من April, May السنة اللي راحت. طلعوا عليهم. شوفوا الفيديوز منيح. احضروهم. Download them. Because what's happening to me is going to happen to you. If you're Arabic, if you're Muslim, if you're a Christian Arab, Shia, Sunni, Hanafi, Druzi, I don't, it's irrelevant, because we are a country of 18 different sects in Lebanon. And if there's anybody who knows how to get along with people from different sects, our country comes out one of the first. It's not England. Because when I arrived here in England, we were a rare sight. There weren't no Lebanese here. Very, very few, absolutely few. There were no Lebanese. There were no Arabs here. There were no black men here. Very few. Very few. We were a proper fucking racist country. Proper. So I go there to make a complaint at 222 Upper Street, and they don't. Instead, they ban me because I am allegedly hurting her feelings. If you can't employ, so I've interviewed people, I've interviewed thousands of people in my career, thousands, literally. And the chairman of the firm that I was working for, I've provided all that information on my social media. He'll vouch for me. He'll vouch for me. I helped him become who he is today. I run his contract. I run his contracts. And you know when you got a one man who's above you, who's running the show, and you're his right hand, you know you're the one who's doing all the work. Yeah? Because let's face it, I'm going to say this now, my former Iranian boss was a bit of an alcoholic. So he used to come in the morning, watch me do all the work, and then fuck off, go to the pub with all the others. And I was running the show. So my career has been proper workaholic. When I was about between 25 and 28, I was earning 57 grand. More than most of the people who were in my year in my school. I worked my way up through all the third-party vendors, sussed out every corners that a company tenders for contracts. I learned all their service level agreements and their contractual obligations. I am expert in third-party vendors. That's what I am. And then when I get banned from 222 Upper Street for a year, I can't get my welfare benefits, can I? So I'm on low money. It's called terrorism, ya alam. It's called fucking terrorism, where they're controlling how much money you're getting. But the family, they don't understand this kind of talk. Yeah, because I've got two sisters who've been radicalised and infiltrated. They're only coming to terms with it now, and they're so far back in how wrong they are that they stay silent now, stay away. But they don't understand that I come from the same mother as they do. And I'm not as green and stupid as my sisters are, who are controlled by brother-in-laws, one Lebanese cunt and one Syrian cunt. And the other one was another Lebanese cunt who married my sister for the passport. But England have still got him here, haven't they? England have still got him here, yeah? When you marry someone for the passport, yeah? As far as I'm concerned, you Jews out there in control, you should be fucking sending these people back. But nah, you don't do that. Yeah? You just send the ones that piss you off and talk about you and expose you. While they're laundering money and sending it back and buying houses in Lebanon and property and house and ground, land. I warned my sisters about these vultures who were hungry for that crown on the passport. But it fell at deaf ears. I don't talk to these brother-in-laws. Why should I? Why the fuck should I? So they give me wrong welfare benefits, and I can't do nothing with low money. I have to stay at home. I have to stay at home. So you lot who you wanted me to speak up about Lebanon, you prominent figures out there, you social media big boys and girls, you journalists, even you white girl journalists, yeah? You don't fucking know half of what's going on across the world. You only know what you hear. But there's people like me who speak from an open capacity. Come out, have got the fucking bollocks to come out and tell it like it is. So I got terrorised for years on low welfare benefits. I was living on £57 a week. Where was you lot? £57 a week? Who can live on £57 a week in England? Do you understand how I was terrorised by Islington Council? And then it was only last year, yeah, where I do make threats, even to the police, and I tell them, yeah, I'm going to throw a bucket of water at Jeremy Corbyn, or George Galloway, or this person, or that person, yeah? And I'm telling them I'm going to do it. And this is not a mental health condition. This is called direct action, yeah, Alam. Direct action. Before that, what's that Palestinian girl who was in charge of direct action for Palestine, yeah? You want to talk about direct action? Yeah. I am the master of direct action. All right, I'm being a bit. But I took it before you lot did. I know what direct action is, and I took it because I weren't getting no joy out of the Toby Norths in my constituency. They're all silent, they're all ignoring it. Every time I email them, they fucking ignore it. Every time I send them a phone call, they fucking ignore it. And then once before Toby North, there was another councillor. I'm on the phone to her, talking to her. She puts her phone down on me. What kind of fucking Jewish cunts do you want to employ in my constituency? Why don't you employ Jewish people instead of Jewish cunts? These haters, we don't want them in our constituency. These are the people who are haters. These are the people who are the haters. So I lose out. And then last year, I get £29,000 put into my account. Whereas they've tamed me from 2007 until last year, 2024, like I was in a jar, like a flea in a jar, tamed to make do in a encapsulated world. We got disrupted from the reception. I don't know how I got disrupted. I'm back. Now that I'm back, I need a cigarette that you've come back. So it seems like talking with openness isn't really something that the cult likes on YouTube, is it? No. Right, so for those of you who just joined us, I'm back live. I don't know what's just happened. I was just talking and then all of a sudden my account gets disrupted. And right now I'm going to continue the discussion. If you've been watching, please try to forward it to the people. I want this going out to the Lebanese politicians here. I address the Lebanese politicians here. I address the public across the world. I address the Lebanese community, essentially the Lebanese, Palestinian, Syrian communities equally. Equally. I look at you equally. These people are my people. So for those of you who think that just because I'm Lebanese, from a Lebanese mother and a Lebanese father, it doesn't mean that I don't speak for you as well. I speak for all expats. In fact, I am an expat like them who have left their country or been subjected to leave their country because the cult has gone in and overtaken all their blessed resources, be it oil, be it gas, be it gold, whatever. So I speak from a personal capacity, unique. Why unique? Because nobody funds me. Nobody represents me. Nobody tells me what to tweet. Nobody tells me what to say. So I'm not your platform of this propaganda bullshit machine out there. I debunk them. I'm the one who watches them and debunks them, who monitors them, who criticizes them. So I'm not here to be liked by your journalists. I'm not here to be liked by your government. Yeah? No, I'm not. If I was, I'd have far more followers. If I was. So I want to try and pick up with some of the things that I need to get out right now. I want to bring up the issue of me talking to or using people who are supposed to be cut out to do a job but are actually there infiltrated us who speak with openness. Now Alex Wood, who wouldn't want to update the Department of Social Security with information that was updated, that outdates previous information, ended up with me not getting my rightful benefits for years. And still till now, I'm not getting my right benefits. While I'm here, I want to remember something. Vince Amers is a senior member of Islington Council. He was the one who was appointed to get me to rehoused. He's the evil, wicked slime bag who ensured that all my property were put in one place, made me put all my property in one place so that when they rehoused me, because they were found guilty to have made me homeless, he ensured that Islington Council went there, took it all and auctioned it all off. Auctioned all off my property, my lifetime property. Everything you put in a house, as in furniture-wise, all the clothes that you have throughout your career, all the photographs, the photo albums that we used to have from one childhood, everything in the house was taken and auctioned off by terrorists, Islington Council. Terrorists, Jewish, personified haters of us Arabs. I want all that back. I want accountability. You can't come to my house, terrorise me, take my house, and then leave me out in the lurch like they're doing in Palestine, and think you could get away with it without me telling my communities out there in the world. Are you listening, Toby North? You want me to write down? What do you want me to write down, Toby North? I've written down everything I wanted in emails in your fucking constituency numerous times to a cunt I can't name now, because a Zionist, Jewish backing, arse-licking cunt judge in Westminster It wants to gag me. Wants to gag me from speaking. Well, I've got news for you, Judge. I'm coming to record you, sir. I've got news for you. I'm coming to take direct action. It's like the Palestinians did with a spoon. They took direct action. Where was you, Palestine, when they done that? العنكم يا واطين يلي من طرف اليهود العباس. هربوا من الحبس، ما عملتوا شيء. أوطى من هيك ما بعرف، أوطى من هيك. Your job out there, Palestinians, Syrians, Lebanese, Yemenis, indeed any of the others I haven't mentioned, your job out there is to make sure that your people are released from prison. Whatever prison that is, people are released from prisons. We haven't put up the ante on releasing prisoners from Palestine. Why is that? Why is that, you evil, wicked journalists? You only talk what you want to talk and get out what you think is a priority. You're roaming around giving out news on our motherlands off of the instructions of the people who are back here in England. That's who you are. Your Murrays and your Bealeys. That Vanessa Beeley, yeah, who denied me access to news on Lebanon because she backs a rat, a Zionist rat, who supports Tommy Robinson, that Sonia Poulton, that Sharmuta, who hid information about Jimmy Savile. Sonia Poulton is a government agent. Sonia Poulton is an informer for the police. Sonia Poulton arranged to meet Lord Rothschilds. Do you fucking understand who Sonia Poulton is? Ya hayawan min Lebanon. Do you understand? When I debunk it, it'll be years later before you lot come out with it. Just like all the things I've been debunking, and then years later you come out with it. How dare you? Tfa alaykum. Tfa alaykum. بيد هدول البيد اللي بلبنان انتبهوا مين عطوا المصاري مفكرين حالكم الشمس عم تلمع من تيزون ما عم تلمع. The sun ain't shining out of their ass. We want نحن نقبض المصاري ما هدولي يقبضوا المصاري من الدم اللبنانيين والفلسطينيين والسوريين واليمنيين والإيرانيين والعراقيين. لما نزلت على when I went down to Islington Council and done that Unit 8200 video, check it out, click on live, because most of the videos I do are live broadcast. None of them are edited, rarely, absolutely maybe one I've edited just to cut out a person's name. That's it. The rest are all live. وفي ناس اكيد اجوا ناس لهون قاعدين عم يسطبوا علي لانه عارفين انا من لبنان. انا ما بستغرب اذا في مخابرات. انا امبارحه بجنينه انا اجوا عالم بدهم حاملين ترايبود حاملين camera equipment and they want to interview me. Why do you fucking want to interview me? Why have all the people, yeah, that are coming out of the park, you want to fucking interview me? يا ولا ودغري قلت لهم اسم عالم انا باند قول اسمهم لانه اذا بقول اسمهم بفوت على الحبس. قلت لهم هيدي اسمها كذا كذا كذا، اذا انتم بتطلعوا الفيديو على وبرودكاست وبعد ما انا قلت لكم اذا انتم بتطلعوا على الفيديو انا بفوت على الحبس اذا بتحطوه على السوشيال ميديا. نبهتهم وهدهتهم ما يطلعوا الفيديو وإن شاء الله ما يطلعوا. قالوا لي oh we're doing a video speaking from we're doing a personal video, it's not going anywhere, isn't it? Yeah, right. You look like a fucking Jew anyway. لك عم يطلعوا علي حدا بس لأنه قلت الكلمة جو، عم يطلع علي حدا كس اخته العارس. اخته العارس. خلينا ندخن سيجارة. يلا تعالوا معي ندخن سيجارة ونتمشى شوية. Right, let's get some. This country is flooded with our Indian brothers. Look, they come over, they get a bike like this, they get a 10 grand loan. I've only got this fan.